current readings still in the mid-20s. 23 degrees in Macon, 24 Warner Robins. We're at 26 in Versailles. The fun of winter weather. We don't get this very often here. In fact, if you were wondering when the last time we saw this much snow was in Macon or close to this much, you'd have to go back to February of 2010. So it was actually opening night of the Olympics that year that we picked up a little bit of snowfall. From Pineview here down to Cordele. This is part of the storm that I'm starting to really get concerned with. It looks like we're really starting to see some intensification there, more so than we did just 15, 20 minutes ago.
Long johns?
No, just the regular suit pants, actually, Kenny. Okay. I'm braving it out here.
Right,
but I figure the winter coat is good enough. Right around McRae and Alamo, that's where we're going to find the strongest winds just out ahead of this. This is immature. You want to give this another couple of weeks. But when you find one of these bright fire engine red ones, now the veterans here, they can pick these off with one hand. I'm going to use two. You just hold the plant and just grab it right at the end, give it a nice little tug. We plot 3 temperatures from Canada, all 3 of those Canadian readings warmer than it is here in Middle Georgia. You may be asking yourself, how can that happen? I'll tell you, Kenny. We've got high pressure sitting right overhead, and the flow around that is going to be clockwise. So you're pulling warm, moist air up from the Gulf of Mexico right through the center of the U.S. and on into Canada. Temperatures are starting to warm up where I'd say you got to be at least into the 60s, although I haven't looked at my maps to verify that. So winter storm warning remains in effect for all of Middle Georgia. That goes into effect this morning and really lasts until Wednesday morning. So we're looking at a period of time from midday today through Wednesday morning, a good 18 hours where wintry weather is possible. So let's break it down, let you know what to expect region by region, starting with Eatonton into Monticello, places like Forsyth, Thomas in the northern end of our viewing area, looking at a sleet-snow mixture with the onset of this around lunchtime, and then an eventual change over to all snow this afternoon. Looking at that snow continuing tonight, accumulations 2 to 4 inches possible in these areas. A little further south, this includes Macon, Warner Robins, Butler. We're into sections of Crawford County, also the rest of Houston County, Twiggs, Wilkinson, up towards Milledgeville, Sandersville. All of these areas, I would expect the onset of this at midday to be a combination of rain and sleet. And then in the early afternoon, as temperatures dip below freezing, maybe a brief window of freezing rain as well, but accumulations under 1/10 of an inch there in terms of ice. We're then looking at a switch over to all snow late this afternoon or this evening with 1 to 4 inches possible. Those higher totals generally going to be towards the northeastern side of this, with Macon, Warner Robins right around that 1 to 2 inch mark. As far as we go further south, Dublin to Eastman, getting into Unadilla, Cordele. This is where I'm getting more concerned with icing, as we will see a wintry mix of rain, freezing rain, and sleet as temperatures drop below freezing. But likely as we start things midday in these areas, it's going to be a cold rain with just a few sleet pellets mixing in. Tonight, freezing rain converting over to snow. I am most concerned with the extreme southeastern corner of the viewing area. So again, Lawrence County, southern Lawrence County, McRae, Wheeler County. These are the spots where I'm concerned with us picking up more than 1/4 of an inch of ice, and that would be enough to bring down some trees and power lines. And we're also looking at perhaps a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of snow on top of that during the overnight hours. So Wednesday morning's drive looks to be something of a mess if you don't have to be on the roads. Best just to stay off of them. The wintry mix moves in today. Falling temperatures will be down in the mid-20s tomorrow morning, so roads likely to be slick in many spots tomorrow afternoon. Not seeing much improvement. Highs only getting into the 30s, but we do start to warm back up. In fact, this weekend, we should get readings back into the 60s.
20 minutes till 7. Sunshine returns today.
Indeed it does, Kenny.
Yeah, I've been listening to the forecast this morning. I'm paying attention.
I am so glad that you are, because you're sitting up here with the laptop, and some mornings I don't know if you're just shopping for ties or what's going on when I'm over at the Green Room.
No, I'm studying the forecast.
You might want to look for a winter coat. It's getting kind of chilly outside. We've got 20s and 30s out there this morning, but fear not. Later this afternoon, the high will be within a couple degrees of average for this time of year. Our normal high is 60, so we won't be too far off from that with highs in the upper 50s today. But we'll see another cold night tonight, down around 30 to start your Thursday, a mid-50s for highs on Thursday afternoon. It's a little cooler than today, and back into the upper 20s for lows Thursday night. But we do start to warm back up just in time for the weekend. Upper 50s on Friday, and you'll notice a bigger difference Friday night with those lows staying in the 40s. That as more cloud cover starts to roll in advance of some weekend rainfall. But no rain in the forecast in the short term. It's just cold out there. 36 degrees colder than it was yesterday at this time in Macon. 37 degrees colder in Eastman, and the closest to where we were yesterday is Eatonton, and even there we're 18 degrees colder than we were just 24 hours ago. So a bitter cold start to the morning. Temperatures well below normal, but we're not talking about setting any records here. The records this time of year are generally in the teens, so we're not anywhere near that, but still cold. to say the least. 28 in Sparta right now, 29 degrees in Macon. We're at the freezing mark, 32 Warner Robins, 30 in Butler. Thomaston checking in at the freezing mark, and 31 right now in Macon County in Montezuma. It's 29 degrees currently in Atlanta, 24 Rome. Also Huntsville checking in the mid-20s, so to our north, even colder than it is right now, so it could be worse here in middle Georgia. We've got clear skies at the moment. That will not be changing heading on into the afternoon. A little bit of cloud cover right along the coast today. Also a few clouds drifting in from the Gulf of Mexico into South Georgia, but that will be about the extent of the cloud cover. Maybe a few high, thin cirrus clouds for us, but in general, skies will be mostly sunny today. And we're going to continue with the mainly clear skies into tonight. Winds this afternoon, light 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the northeast, so not those strong gusts that we were dealing with yesterday. Like I said, clear skies tonight, light winds, so that will set the stage for another chilly start to the morning with readings maybe a degree or two warmer than this morning, but it's still going to be rather chilly as we get into your Thursday. But like I said, we'll see more cloud cover start to roll in Friday night. That will lead to a milder night, but then we'll see the rain start to push into the area on Saturday. So the green here, that is a rain forecast from one computer weather model. The blue is the rain forecast from a different extended computer model, and they're both in pretty good agreement and have been for most of this week in that the rain will arrive overnight Friday night into Saturday, with the majority of that heavy rainfall coming in on Saturday. Some of us could see upwards of an inch to an inch and a half of rain with this event, but we do start to see some differences heading on into Sunday, with one model clearing things out by Sunday morning, the other holding on to rain. And I'm at this point kind of playing middle of the road here. I think we'll still see some rain showers for Sunday morning, but by Sunday afternoon we should begin to see that clearing and then dry conditions to set in for the beginning of the next work week. Today, staying dry, mostly sunny skies, highs close to average. We'll be in the upper 50s for readings this afternoon, but another cold night tonight. Lows back down around 30 as we start your Thursday morning. Thursday afternoon, a little cooler than today, warming up to a high around 60 by Saturday, with heavy rain likely throughout the day on Saturday.